Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Emilee Shannon, and today I'm going to be making a ham and brie sandwich for you with mixed field greens and pear tossed in a homemade honey mustard dressing. So I'm going to make the honey mustard dressing from scratch, but if you just want to buy some, that's fine too. And all my ingredients are from Aldi again, and I'm going to show you how to put those together to make something really tasty for your lunch today. Okay? Here are the ingredients that I'm going to use for today. So for the honey mustard dressing, I have the light mayonnaise, the mustard, the honey, and a little apple cider vinegar back there. And the mixed field greens, you'll see I have the spring mix back there, the Simply Nature Organic. I have some ham that I'm going to be cutting some slices off of, the brie cheese, the butter, and for the bread I'm going to use the Naan bread. It's a flatbread. And those come 4 pieces per pack, and I use those things all the time. Sandwiches, flatbread pizzas, everything to go with stew, they're great. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients for the honey mustard dressing to go on the field greens and the pears. Okay, so to make this honey mustard dressing, I'm going to start with some of this Fit and Active light mayo. Just maybe 2 spoonfuls of that. And I'll go with a little bit of the mustard. Squirt in some of that there. And then the honey. Squeeze in some honey. I like it pretty sweet. And then whisk this all together. And I'm going to add a little bit of this apple cider vinegar just to cut the thickness and give it a little extra flavor and sourness to it. Whisk that in. Taste it. Tastes good. Next, I'm gonna slice up this pear and get it mixed in with the spring mix and set that aside. Here I have the mixed field greens with the chopped up pear ready for the dressing. I'm gonna wait to put the dressing on until right before I put the sandwich together because I don't want the lettuce to get really wilty and soggy. So hold off on dressing it until we're ready to use it. Now I've cut some slices off the ham and I'm just going to fry them in a pan. So here I have some bacon grease in the pan. You can use butter if you want to. I really like bacon grease because I think it adds delicious bacony flavor, which everyone loves. So if you are wondering how I have bacon grease, every time that I make bacon, I just take the grease and dump it into a jar that I keep in my refrigerator. So then I have it whenever I need to cook with bacon grease. So I'm just going to add the pieces of ham to the pan. Let that cook, and once the ham gets nice and caramelized, then I'll flip it to the other side. Then I'm going to set it on a plate to cool. Another reason why I'm cooking the ham a little bit more is to get some of the moisture out because there's a lot of liquid in ham too, so we don't want to have a really soggy sandwich. So we'll let this fry a few minutes and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. This is what the ham looks like when it's done frying in the bacon grease or butter. Looks delicious. I cut the brie into thin slices to go on the sandwich. I cut the rind off the edges, but not off the top and the bottom because I like to leave a little rind on it because I like the taste and the texture of it, but you can get rid of all the rind if you want to, but then the cheese is really, really runny. So now I'm going to start putting this sandwich together. So I have my pan here on about low to medium heat, and I went ahead and cut my bread into 2 halves. Put the first bread down. I put a little pat of butter in the pan also. So I'll lay that down there. Then I'm just going to alternate with the brie cheese and the ham. I like to mix it up with the ham and the brie because I don't like just a layer of brie and a layer of ham, because then it seems like all of the cheese runs out, and you know, some bites are all cheese, some bites are all ham. So kind of layer that in there. You can tear these and get them over to the edge. Cut your ham if you need to. Just make sure there's lots of cheese in there and lots of ham in there. It's going to be a really gooey, yummy ham and cheese sandwich. I'm going to cut this one a little bit too, just to get it all in there. So I'm going to lay the top cover on right now so that everything can get hot throughout and the outside of the bread can get really crispy and the butter will soak in a little bit. It's going to be great. Okay, so the sandwich is almost done. I cooked it on one side, then I added a little more butter and flipped it over to the other side. Both sides are nice and crisp, so I'm going to take it out of the pan, put it here. I put the honey mustard dressing on the pears and the field greens also while the sandwich was in the pan. So I'm just going to peel it open, add this in. I like to get a lot of pear in there. Pear and field green inside. Close it on up. Losing a little cheese there. Cut it down the middle. And on the plate. And there's your finished sandwich. Ham and brie with mixed field greens and pears with a honey mustard dressing. Again, I'm Emilee Shannon. Thanks for watching me cook today.